Welcome to the Ops. It's your girl, Spicy K.
And it's your girl TK. How y'all doing?
Yes, we are on episode 41. We have an exciting lineup for you tonight. We're going to talk about everything that's trending. You know, what's all on the bingo card for January, even though we're only on January the 9th. Yes. So, TK,
Yeah.
we're going to start off with you. Who you telling on this week? So, let us know.
Man, I'm telling on the person right after our podcast last week that hit and ran me in my car. If
Oh.
anybody out there knows who drives a maroon, and I mean maroon four-door, some sort of Chevy, like maybe 2012 to 2015, they hit me on my way to the store. And it's crazy. Like, you got to be man or woman enough, because I don't know which one, because the windows were probably about 5% tint. Um, so if you hit someone, you need to stick around for that, because I'm telling you, if they find you, it's not gonna be good for you. And I mean me or the police. So yeah, so it's some bad drivers here in Huntsville. We already know, but the weak, I'm gonna say punk pussy whole ass shit that they did by pulling off on me, really upset me. So yeah, I mean, it's another thing. They don't know that I just recently had a wreck, so I'm still in PTSD from that. That one scared the life out of me almost. And this was a similar situation, but at least the people that hit me last time stuck around. So please, people, uh, that is not what you want, because again, like I said, I hope the police find them before I do, because I am very upset and hurt, and I'm still in my feelings about it. So I don't want to ruin my own life. You feel me? If that makes any sense to you all. But yeah, I'm telling on a maroon, four door, 5% tinted window, some sort of Chevy between 2012 and 2015. It's either a Malibu or Impala that hit and ran me. Okay, because your bumper and your light still in the road. I saw it today. So that's who y'all running around. I'm looking for this car. So I'm telling you, they got to be somewhere in this area. So that I actually live in, because I don't know. You really ain't gonna be driving that, even though people do crazy things daily. But for them to take off, I don't know. They either had a warrant or they was drunk. So either way, it's gonna be bad for you. So that's who I'm telling on. Who you telling on, Spicy K?
So them not having license or anything is not an option? I'm just curious.
I mean, you ain't really gonna go to jail for that, right? That's a citation.
Maybe they want one.
No, maybe they didn't, but I'm telling you, what they gonna get, they don't want either.
So, for me this week, who I am
Hmm.
telling on none other than myself. Who else to tell on? So let me tell you exactly what happened. So during my lunch, I was like, "Oh, let me go to J.C. Penney's because I know that they have something that I need to buy.
Hmm.
You know, just out of sheer, you know, wanting to shop." So I saw two jumpsuits and I was like, "Oh, two denim jumpsuits." And I was like, "Okay, this is exciting. Let me go, look at these jumpsuits." Da 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 da. I try on the jumpsuit. So let me just, there's one that's short sleeve and there's one that's long sleeve. I try on the short sleeve
Hmm.
first. Now, if you know anything about denim, denim don't be moving like that. It does not move like that at all. So
What
I
you
put
mean
on
don't
the
move?
short sleeve like it doesn't have any give. So I put
Oh,
on
okay.
this. So I put on the short sleeve one, and y'all, I got it on, not a problem. Get ready to take it off, and I was like, "Hold on, I can't take it off." Like,
Uh oh.
I literally was like, "Okay, do I call and see if the lady next door trying on clothes? Like, do I ask her to help me, or do I just start screaming and try to get an associate?" Because this is the thing. I have plenty of jumpsuits, plenty, but they are all very either the loose material or whatever that has some stretch, or so I can easily get out of it, or they're long sleeve, so it's easy for me to easily just pull the sleeve, get out of it. Well, this one was short sleeve, and like the cuff was rolled up. So I am literally in I'm literally in the dressing room like trying to roll down the sleeve and like trying to maneuver myself that I can grab the sleeve, because all I need to do is grab the sleeve and I can get out. Just need to grab one
But you
side,
couldn't
one
reach over,
side.
could you? Couldn't reach over.
Like I couldn't do anything. I was just literally like contorting my body to try to get out of the jumpsuit. Like I had to pull the jumpsuit like all the way up. Like I had to pull all the all the material all the way up, and then like maneuver my body to one side to try to grab the cuff of the sleeve. Because all I need to do is grab the sleeve. Once I grab the sleeve, I can easily get out. Because that's how you get out of jumpsuits. And before anybody say something, no, the jumpsuit was not too little or anything. It was just that it was short. And it had short sleeves. So I was literally trying to grasp the sleeves. I finally was able to grab the sleeve, get my warm arm out. Once I got my one arm out, obviously it's easy to get the other arm out. But when I tell you I was in full on panic mode, and then this is my mama. Well, see, you ain't even have me on the phone this time. Maybe if I was on the phone, mama, how was you gonna help me? How was you gonna
Wow.
help me? But
That sounds
yes.
like a mother thing. But so hold on, let me get this correct. So it's a jumpsuit, so you had to step into it and pull it up from the like that. And then you just was like, oh, like that's crazy. Oh man, tell on yourself. Don't do that again, okay?
I won't
Long
like I,
sleeve, long
like
sleeve wouldn't have been better though, would it?
yeah, because long sleeve you can pull the sleeve. Cause I just needed to pull something to get out my arm out. Like I didn't have anything to get my arm out. That was the issue. The whole issue is my arm not like my me not being able to pull anything with my hand. That was the issue.
Even your other, like you can just
No, because both of them were short
restricting you
sleeves.
too.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's why I
okay.
had to just I like literally pulled the whole jumpsuit like completely up as high as it was gonna go on my body, and
And then
then
kind
just
of jumped
grab
out
onto
of
the
it.
sleeve.
Oh,
No,
you
just
just.
no, have the sleeve. No, I did not do that.
Oh, okay.
I was able to catch the sleeve of it
Mm-hmm.
after I contorted
Mm-hmm.
my body, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened.
Gotcha.
So
Man. Yeah, I would have told on me too for that one.
yeah, like I didn't know what to do. I was like, am I gonna have like a full on panic attack, and like start crying and screaming and hollering to an associate at JC Penney's? Or am I gonna see if this lady is still next door trying on clothes and be like, lady, like, can you grab the back of this jumpsuit? That's all you
So
gotta
you want to
do.
see all your tetas all everywhere?
You weren't gonna see anything. It was a long pants jumpsuit, very long.
Maybe
Very
I just
long.
don't understand women's clothes like that because it's freaking me out.
It's a
I'm like,
jumpsuit.
what? I'm not. That's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking this one that pull all the way up, and you just
Yeah, you pull
sitting
it
over
up.
here with
Yeah,
Tyrannosaurus Rex
you pull
arms,
it
kind
up,
of.
and then like it was one of the ones. It's real cute. It was it's pants obviously, and
Hmm.
it button up, like completely button up or whatever, no
So
zipper or
did
whatever.
you buy it?
No, I did not buy that. I was not gonna torture myself. Imagine if I would have actually purchased it, and then I'm like, no, me at home trying to do this on my own. No, that's no. I'm not doing it to myself. I know better. I know
Bruh, and then
better.
trying to get out of it and go to the bathroom if you go out with it. Oh my gosh, you'd be like, okay,
It's
okay, my bad. That
yes,
was funny.
it would have been real bad. So no, I didn't do it. I didn't bother by doing it. I didn't. I know
Bless your
I was
heart.
not gonna do that because it was gonna be too much. But that's who I'm telling on this week. I tell on myself a lot, but that was to me that funny. That story is funny, and I literally it's funny now. During the moment, it was not funny because I literally didn't know whether or not I needed to go ask a stranger. And then my mom was like, "So
To come undress you.
you were gonna ask them to touch you or whatever?" I was like, "No, well, they only had to touch my jumpsuit. They didn't have to touch my actual physical body. They just needed to touch the jumpsuit so I can get the one arm out. All I needed to do was get the one arm out." But no, I
I
was
don't know.
not
You might
gonna.
have went viral.
I was not gonna buy that. I was not gonna buy that. That would
You
have
might
been
have went
torture.
viral on that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's okay.
Man, on a
me
light, on a
having me having to have a full on panic attack. no, to go viral,
I
let
think
me
you should
not
have
do
bought it.
that.
You
No,
gotta live life off the wall, like Michael Jackson said. You feel me?
no, not happening. Not happening. But anyway, on this week of It's Cool When They Do It, It's Problem When We Do It. If you are not aware of that segment, it's typically something controversial, and it typically has a race element. Now, this one, the race element is a little bit different because it was
Mm-hmm.
all racist. We're talking about none other than in Mississippi, they found 215 bodies that were buried behind the jail, and no one decided to call the family. They don't know exactly how some of these people died. It's a wild story. So, TK, tell me what your take on the story.
Well, from what I gathered, from because there wasn't really much I found on it other than what I was sent. Um, as far as that goes, it seems to be that the only reason why these bodies were discovered was because someone else hit a young African American person and attempted to bury them there also. So being that it's in Mississippi, I really wouldn't be surprised if there were other mass burial plots such as this of missing uh, black people. We'll just say,
Well, it was all
um,
racist. It was all racist.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's in Mississippi, so 215 people that were buried without knowledge of who they were. First of all, because now they're gonna have to try and figure out who everybody is, right?
Yep.
And that's gonna cost the city a lot of money. Because now you got to do autopsies. And I'm gonna tell you, I had a family member that had met an unfortunate situation not too long ago, and autopsies are very expensive if the family requests them. So I know, I mean, you might get the whole city discount and everything,
The whole
but
city discount.
well, whatever that would be, I mean, because they ain't gonna charge you what they would charge, themselves, I guess. But now you got to,
But
figure out.
wait, hold on. I'm thinking like when they naturally have to do an autopsy and not have to charge because it's something potentially criminal. I thought you have to only pay if you like requested it.
Well, no, the family's not gonna have to pay, but it's gonna cost the
Oh,
city.
city.
They're
Oh,
gonna
okay,
have to,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
they're
okay,
gonna have
okay.
to pay. They're gonna have to pay for the doctors, for the equipment, the exhumation, which is really gonna have to happen because I mean they there, but somebody got to get them up out of there, bones and all. Like it's all kind of investigate. Like this is like max overtime that you know what I'm saying. So all that from these people that work for the city, morgue and all that. I don't know if they do they go to the city medical examiner's office or whatever that is. That's definitely a city office in most states and counties and cities, right?
A
It's a
city more
city.
like maybe a corner.
Yeah, the corner
Okay,
you vote
corner.
for a corner, so
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So in some city, I don't think it's everywhere though.
Well, some I
But you,
think you have county. Well, maybe
yeah,
if the city's big, they may have a city like corner, but
that's
otherwise, I
that's
think
probably
it's
something
county.
we should know. Yeah, it's probably something I should know and look into. I don't
I
know
know I'm
why,
from
but
a
I do.
small county. It's our we have a county corner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because you vote for that
yeah.
when you
Which
go
that's a
vote.
weird thing to vote for.
I mean, I feel like that could be something that could be on Indeed or in the one ads you can hire
No, I'm
for.
just saying.
And
Like I see, like I just feel like that should be. I don't know why that. I don't know. That seems to be weird that like you have a political affiliation to be a corner. But then I guess I
mm,
get it from a standpoint of
ooh,
if you like depending on who you have, like they can potentially lie or something like that. But I
yeah,
think that would be more
that's
of
what
an
I say.
ethical, moral, whatever your license is for a corner type situation than needing to be like upheld by like voting because you can be
I know
voted
medical
out.
examiners are actually medical doctors because you got to know all the same
Correct.
stuff that a medical doctor does. But yeah, that seems kind of weird. But I wonder if that's only in the South where people would lie about something like that. When it pertains to different races. You feel me? I'm
Yeah,
gonna look into that.
because you think about it this way, like if if I'm a corner, which that would not be something I could do. If I was a corner and I could literally say, the cause of death is da 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 da, even though the cause of death, because that makes all the difference in the world. So that's why I don't know why it's politically affiliated or potentially politically affiliated, because to me that seems so weird.
Yeah, we gotta look into that. We need to do a retrospective on that.
But yeah, but they do vote. They do vote, and like I said, maybe if the city is big enough, yes. But I know where I'm from, the city and the town and the county ain't big enough, so they have a county coroner,
But
from my
but
understanding.
what was weird about this is that this ain't a small town, Mississippi. This in
No, it's like
Jackson.
yes.
This in
And then
Jackson,
they buried,
Mississippi.
like they literally buried everybody, but like nobody understands why no one actually died. And then like they had like metal rods signifying like the bodies and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's
That's
very weird.
I wanna. Like I said, I'm finna follow this. Like I'm gonna see if I can what else I can find about it because it seems 200 and like I could see two or three because I know that I watched a documentary about somebody somewhere in Texas where they was people just was like a dog found a bone and then they went to see where the dog got the bone from and it's like 5 6 bodies that turned out to be people that were missing and murdered way back like 20 30 years.
And they said that like they didn't embalm the people or anything. Like,
No, they
oh
was
my
just
goodness.
they was
They
just
didn't
murdered.
they didn't embalm the people or embalm the people or anything. So that's also, so basically it's mailed. And this is my thing, like,
I'm
well, I'm
sorry,
just
but
saying, like, because it's
yeah.
mailed, I'm like, why did not any other people and smell it or whatever? Like, or what did they think? They said that buzzards were flying around and all other kind of things, and
But
it's had a stench. So I know it's behind a jail, but I'm thinking like when someone smell it then and wonder why it was smelling behind the jail, and then the fact that nothing was embalmed, that means that like 9 times out of 10 they didn't go to the morgue or the coroner or anything. Like, it seems like to me
no,
how I felt like it when I read the story and heard about the story is that like they was just dumping bodies back here. They weren't telling nobody. They was just like dead person, boom, like let me, a lot of apparently a lot of people thought their loved one was missing, and come to find out their loved one has already done passed away and buried and
and
everything.
spanking. Because I mean, you gotta think about it. Even if you are embalmed, you know, when you put in a casket, they still got that thick lining around the casket. They go down 6 feet. These people obviously weren't buried down 6 feet. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So they're shallow graves. Like, yeah, that's gonna be funky as a mug. I couldn't imagine 215, but it was behind the jail.
I know.
So I'm wondering if some of these were, no,
Like if,
there's a record. No, it couldn't have been prisoners because there's a record. If your prisoner ain't there, you know what I'm saying? Hold on now.
but I don't know. But if think about it this way, if a prisoner was acting up or whatever, like why wouldn't they just, if and they wanted to do something, when they, especially if the person is not getting any visitors, that's probably why it's very important to visit your people that's in prison or jail or
Mm.
whatever. Like, at least to have some kind of communication, put some money on the books to talk to them or something. Because in my mind, the first thing I thought was, oh, they went out here and killed. Well, I won't say kill because I don't know. I don't
We
know
don't
what
know how they
happened, so
died.
I'm not gonna say kill. But something happened to prisoners, and that's where they were at. That's my first interpretation, because it was behind the jail, because that's a very suspicious and place to have the dead bodies, in my opinion.
Okay, so I think I misunderstood. So this in March of last year is when they discovered this based on the fact that somebody was hit by a police officer. I thought they had attempted to bury them there, but apparently I mean, I don't know. I really couldn't understand. Like, I couldn't understand the story at first. Like, how did they discover these bodies?
Um,
Because it wasn't very
it was
clear.
after the circumstances of the Dexter Ward death.
Yeah, Dexter
And that's
Wade.
so basically Ward's mother spent months looking for her son only to find out that he was fatally struck by a Jackson, which is what you said earlier.
Yeah.
By a Jackson police car less than an hour after leaving home. And he was killed and buried without the family knowledge.
Okay,
So
so
like
they
so
buried
like
him.
to me like this is probably a bigger cover up, obviously, to
Mm-hmm.
like something like I said, which that happens, with this particular situation, it was the Jackson police. So I'm thinking police, jail, all of these things. It has to be some kind of connection to,
Oh, it's definitely a conspiracy.
yeah, like it's definitely some kind of connection. So imagine you thinking that your loved one is, like I said, missing, and come to find out like they have been buried, and then like nobody, they like just buried in a shallow grave. Like, you might as well just dump them off in the ocean or something. I'm just saying, like in the Mississippi River, like without disregard. So I feel like once if they can ever find out what happened, people are going to jail
Yeah, that's
because
what I'm
you
saying.
can't
But
do
who?
anything like that to a body. You can go to jail for that,
Oh yeah, oh, by tampering with
like
I don't know what
a
tampering with something. It's
corpse,
called.
tampering with a
Yeah,
corpse.
there you
Yeah.
go. Exactly
Hmm.
what it is. And then you but do they know who hit the boy Dexter Wade and sent him to and buried him? Like what? Like how, this is weird. I don't know. I don't like it.
Um, I didn't go down that rabbit hole all the way completely to
Because they're
find
not being
out.
clear. They're not. It's not a clear story. Like I'm trying to figure out. Like somebody need to tell the people if they're gonna mention this story that we found 215 bodies. We need to figure out how. What do we know who hit Dexter Wade? Who buried? Because somebody buried him where they already knew bodies was buried. Do you feel me?
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, it could be unruly, prisoners or whatever, that they're like, hey, we don't want to deal with you anymore. Let's do something to you and put you back here, and nobody's going to be the wiser.
But you said they marked them with pipes.
Yeah, like metal, They had like metal rods or whatever. That's how they marked the like where they bury someone at. So imagine.
What was they going back to like was they paying respect like what the, okay, I just need to know what I'm just you know what this we shouldn't even talk about this but now I'm just upset and I feel like I just feel like something is happening here. That's just the weird one of the strangest things I've ever heard about.
And it doesn't appear that they know who necessarily killed Dexter, like hit him. It doesn't. I didn't see it. I'm not
Well how
saying
did
it's
they
not there, but I
how
didn't
did they
see it.
find out that that's what happened to him? They know that he was struck by a police car
Yeah.
and buried. I'm
Hmm.
gonna go down there. I think I'm gonna go on down there tomorrow. I'm gonna go on down there to Jackson to see what the heck I
Okay.
can find out because this is weird. This is really blowing my mind. This could throw my life off track. Just trying to figure out what the heck happened with it. I'm totally like, I'm mind blown with this right here. You feel me? Mm.
Yeah, and like I said, it was basically, it wasn't just black people. It's like it was pretty much anybody. So that's why I'm like, and then like if that's how they found out, it's because a police officer hit someone's body. Like in my mind, I'm like, so
Y'all know
you
more
just
than that.
randomly hitting people and then just being like, okay, let me hit someone and put you here. Let me hit someone and put you here. Like that is the weirdest thing to me.
This is like I said. We should. This is a whole 48-hour episode in itself. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We need to figure that out. But yeah, that's crazy. And I just I just want to say prayers up to the family of the people that may have. If you got somebody missing from that area, you need to go on down here to this police station and look through 215 autopsies to see. And it just said that I just looked at as I perused it a little bit. It said that the boy had identification on him that was handed from his
Yeah.
body to the medical examiner. So
Yeah, because that's one of the issues that they have. Because it was like you could have just called somebody and let them know, but a lot of people, didn't. Yeah, they just didn't. That's what I'm saying. Something, it had to be clearly one of the reasons why they found out about it is because of a cover up. So I believe it was just a larger cover up. Like, oh my goodness, this is the place. If I'm, potentially law enforcement or work for corrections or something like that. Like,
Hmm.
if anything happens and someone dies, I could just put them back here
Yeah,
because
like it's
clearly
more
it
than
must
one
be an
person
open
that know.
secret. Apparently, it must be
Yeah,
an open secret.
I will sit every one of those people that work at that jail down and put them in the what you call it, the lie detector test and put polygraph. That's what I'm saying. That's what I
Okay.
was trying to say. Get them a polygraph and make them go through a whole investigation. Like you knew somebody back here. Y'all smell this.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that, there's more information to be found out, later that we can possibly discuss. Um,
We'll try to keep y'all updated on that if we can find out.
so the next thing we're going to talk about is what everybody and their mother has been talking about. None other than Cat Williams on Club Shay Shay. So, first of all, I just want to say I haven't looked at the numbers. I know the other day when I looked at the numbers, they were at 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure they are past 30 million at this point because that was almost 3 hours of my
After.
life and I
Oh,
enjoyed every moment of it.
man,
Yeah.
I love Shannon Sharp to death. I really hadn't had a chance to catch his podcast or show before then, but I'm tuning in because I love Sharp. Cat Williams gave Shannon Sharp his flowers while he was on there as well because I don't know if anybody is aware of Shannon Sharp's career as a football player, but he was an outstanding and underrated tight end. He's Hall of Fame, definitely, but he was one of the most studious players of football that you could. I mean, like he defined for me the tight end position. Like a lot of people, be like the tight end ain't necessary, tight end don't do nothing, this and the other, but Shannon Sharp, he was a blocker and he was one of the best receivers and runners after the catch that you could ever see. But so I want to say that Club Shay Shay, I have followed you on each and every social media platform and I intend to bless you going forward with my attention for real.
Do you watch Nightcap, the one with Ocho Cinco?
I see the clips. I love Chad Ocho Cinco 85. I love him, but he gets on my last nerve when he speaks, so I cannot make myself tune in. But but he's a very strange guy. But shout out to the headbutt on Evelyn. We don't condone violence here
No,
on
we
the
do
app,
not. We do
but
not.
I really do think that he took one for the team on that because that head hurt him. I know it did. But anyway, back to Mr. Williams. Appreciate that. And I tell you what, some people can learn from that because Cat Williams did not come out until he was called out by people lying on his image fucking name. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Because and people need to start doing that because
Everybody's calling him bitter, though. They're calling him bitter, not realizing that. I don't think people paid attention to the whole interview. Like, I think
no.
they were entertained or had their own opinion. And somebody was mentioning and said that people were basing how they feel about the interview based on how they feel about either Cat Williams or the people that he was discussing or defending himself against. I want to personally say, and I've said this before, the only person that I like is Sid the Entertainer that he called out. Those other people that he called out, I don't like them people. Ricky Smiley, no, I don't like no Kevin Hart. I never thought that man was funny a day in my whole entire life. And I'm not necessarily really a Cat Williams fan, but I gained a lot of respect in that interview. No, don't get me wrong.
He's
He's just
hilarious.
not a person that I just, but I'm not saying that he's not funny. He's just not, I just don't follow him like that. But I
Yeah,
don't
same
dislike
size.
him, but I just don't follow him like that.
How you gonna not like somebody same size as you? Anyway, I'm just messing with you on that, but I feel you. I love him. I think he's hilarious. He impressed me from the first time that I came across him. I wasn't a Comic View fan. I
I
was a
like
Def
comedy. I
Comedy
love
fan
comedy
fan.
review.
I couldn't get it. I couldn't. You know what? Because of commercials. Like I just couldn't. I couldn't stick with it long enough because back then my attention span was like that. So you come on to go commercial, I'm gone. I didn't like Ricky Smiley because of Lil Daryl. I didn't
Oh.
appreciate that. But I grew to be fond of him, over the course of him being on the radio. But then I was like, yeah, no, he's still Lil Daryl to me, and I didn't think that was too funny at all. You know what I'm saying? But I believe what he said about Ricky Smiley because the what why would we believe Ricky Smiley could play Money Mike? Okay, Ricky Smiley was barely believable as the thieving ass Santa Claus in Friday at the Next. There is no way I would have. If I had heard Ricky Smiley say that first, I'd have been like, "Bruh, man, you just sat there and told a fat face on lie." But
Okay.
anyway, that is my new phrase. I'm sorry. That is coming out of my mouth probably every other hour around this motherfucker for real. Like I love that. That was so funny because all you do is think about him in that movie. What movie was that where he was naked on the beach?
I don't know.
You don't remember that? And it was a big thing. Like it was like a vacation movie, a
Oh,
couples
retreat. Is
retreat.
a retreat?
Couples was a couples retreat or retreat? Might just been
Yeah.
retreat. I don't remember.
Probably
But
couples
yeah, he was.
retreat. But I know what you're
And he
talking about.
showed all his roundness and all that. I was like, okay, buddy, you couldn't have paid me to do that on TV, goddamn. I swear to God, you couldn't have. But I really gained some. I mean, I had the most respect for Cat Williams, but the way he handled everything
Yeah.
was, well, in my opinion, was professional because he could have went on social media, which I don't even think he got social media. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
I've.
No, he
Have
does.
you
He
ever?
does. He does. I tagged him
Okay.
earlier.
Okay. But oh yeah, I saw somebody else
Yeah,
attack him too.
on
You right on
Instagram.
He's
Yeah.
on Instagram,
Yeah.
yeah. But he been holding this in for years and years and years.
Yeah, and
Like
like I respect that he said this is the platform that they discuss me on, so let me discuss
mhm,
them on the same platform.
same
And that's why
platform.
I don't understand why people think he's bitter. Like he literally said, I'm only, and he's only bringing up and discussing the things that were discussed on Club Shay Shay with these other people, like with Steve Harvey, with Ricky Smiley, and all this stuff. You know, so to me, I definitely respected him. Something else that I really, really big ups to him was when they asked him the questions about the amigos or migos, whatever they're called, amigos.
Migos. Yes, the Migos.
And like he answered that question with so much class and grace. Like, you know, they asked, Shannon had asked him about, you know, did you
Give him that
basically give them
money.
money? And he, you know, what he said, you know, to me, it wasn't braggadocious. It wasn't,
At
it was
all.
very respectable and classy. And he didn't, he never confirmed or denied, which makes a whole lot of sense. And
Ain't
that's
right.
respect because how you gonna give somebody money and then be like, well, you know, on Tuesday, da da da, I gave this person $100,000 and I gave this person, like, he ain't even like that. And apparently, like, prior to this interview, and I didn't realize this, but I saw the receipts or whatever. I think it was Dion Cole maybe that had made a whole thing about like the
Yeah,
things that he has
that he
done, and there was
did.
so many people that was like, you know, Cat Williams did XYZ, Cat Williams did this, and I was like, you have no other choice but to respect a person that literally has helped people and don't discuss it, and that's the right thing to do. Like that's the God thing to do. Like that's the godly thing to do. That's what they tell you in the Bible. Like that's how, you know, you supposed to move. So I definitely appreciate, respect that.
Hmm.
Now I will also need to, you know, I'll definitely let you finish your thoughts and everything on it. But I definitely have some
Okay, Kanye.
what I call these are my favorite quotes, of course. Fat face on.
Number one right there
Exactly. Top notch. Then when he said to be confident and not delusional is a real skill.
is a real skill. Oh my God.
Yes, it is. And then He said, "You have an unnatural allegiance to losers, and that's not like you."
That's not like you, Shannon Sharp. You feel me? And then, no, and then I'm gonna add my second one. Hold on, I'm gonna let
Okay.
you finish too.
And so
But
the other one I have is that he says, anytime they convince you an ugly mofo looks good, you know better.
Jonathan Majors, I said, now that was a little. I can't say that man ugly. You know what I'm saying? But again, in his past history, the wide
Yeah.
nose and the, you know, it considered us unattractive. But I feel him on that. But he just was on that. That was just a funny for him. I think. I don't think he really had. He was shouting out Megan Good on that because again, she was his what Coretta. Like he said that was his Coretta. Because Coretta did stick by a nigga that was trifling. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about
Like,
Martin Luther King all
no,
day,
not
but
not when it's about to be his birthday. We will not.
we sure will. There ain't gonna be no fake ass motherfuckers here. He was a good for this, for that, and the other, but he was also low down to Coretta. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna call a spade a spade. I'm sorry, Doctor Kane, but yeah, But my favorite one after the fat phase on live was I would have punched Cedric in his stomach. That's what got me right there because he was serious as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that ain't none of these folks come back and say he was a lie.
No, the
They ain't
only
say
the
yeah.
only person that basically said that it wasn't true was Ludacris in his rap. He did say
I
he wasn't
believe
part
that.
of but I'm just saying, like, he said that, and he was like this, that he's the only person that's really said anything. What I also didn't like is the fact that I think it was Kevin. They kept on addressing him and saying like he's on drugs and stuff like this.
Drugs.
And this is what,
They
as
do.
I was paying attention to Katt, one, I don't think he's necessarily, I don't think he's on drugs. He's saying he ain't on drugs, he ain't on drugs. There are hyper people in this world. There are very hyper people in this world. I used to be one of those hyper people. I'm not a guy over 40 and I ain't as hyper. But I remember when I was working, I won't say where, this girl
When I
came up to
met you.
me. No, this is before that. I was
Oh, okay.
much younger. This girl came up to me and told me, she said, she was like, when I first met you, I was like, they just let anybody work here. And I was like, and she was like, because I just knew you had to be on something. And what is really funny about it is the fact that, like, the job I had does random drug tests. And I literally got drug tested. I think that they thought that I was on drugs, but if you know anything about me, I don't do drugs.
At all.
I don't
In
do none
any
of
shape,
them.
form, or fashion.
I
So,
don't do
but
anything
yeah,
like that. I
that
drink
is
a little, but
hilarious.
that's it. But yes, she told me, she was like, I just knew you was on something. And I was like, so there are hyper people, and there are people that are just entertaining, and he just happens to be one of them. So the fact that their only rebuttal was he on drugs or whatever, like, come on, you ain't really.
He has a medical license for a plant that grows amongst us that is should be legal anyway, and he is not on any hard drug. He said that hard drug. He never find a drug dealer that sold it to him. He said find somebody
Yeah,
that has done drugs with me. Don't you think they would have come out by now? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I sold
yeah,
this
that's what
and
he
that to
said.
so
Yeah.
and so, and
and
I'm like, bro,
and let me just say, like, now I personally do find that marijuana, though that is a drug, but what I was meaning, before anybody say, oh my goodness, he's on way, da 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 da, I was meaning like coke, cocaine, or something like that. That's what
did you
I
say
was meaning.
crackhead? Oh my god,
Yes, I did say cracking, but
crackhead. I'm like, that's what it should have been called. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I agree with you on that.
so yeah, yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the interview. I enjoyed the 2 hour and like 48 minute or whatever it was interview. I'm not
Mm,
lame. Forget you.
mm.
Drug free the way to be. I took Dare seriously,
I did too.
but yeah, but I enjoyed the interview. Did you?
I
How did
really
you?
did.
Okay.
The reason why it took me 3 days to watch it is because I was trying to find that jacket online to see how much it was to see if I wanted to invest
I
in it
think it's
because
like 3,500 or
it
something like that, or
is.
forty-two hundred.
I thought I saw 4,400, but yeah, it's
Okay.
upwards in the range where I'm not gonna fucking spend on one item. Okay, I don't care how rich I am, but anyway, I would never spend $3,000 on one item. I'm gonna have to get at least 4 items for about 3 stacks. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's a lot of dinero. You feel me? But other than that, I don't see anything wrong with what he did. He didn't, like I said, he didn't come out until he was spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kevin Hart. I don't know when his interview was, where he talking about he's on drugs and he's this and that. Kevin Hart, you need to be on something because I hear you a little bitty asshole. You know what I'm saying? They say he is a real a hole.
I, I don't know him,
People that
so
have been around
I
him,
don't.
he like to call people out about their money. He's an industry plant, is what my boy said.
But
Because
Tori, let me just say this: Tori, his ex-wife, will be on Cat Williams' tour. She
now
announced it
that's gonna be
apparently.
hilarious. That's gonna be because she's a comedian too. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
I really didn't know
Apparently,
that.
apparently, she used to write most of his jokes. She used to
Kevin
write
Hart.
most. Hmm. See, she was on, shoot, she was on like Ex Wives or something. I think that was Ex Wives Atlanta or whatever. It had like Usher, ex wife Tamika, and stuff like that on it. Like it was had a. I liked the show. They canceled it, but I liked it.
So what was the show that he was talking about that Kevin Hart got? Was it the Housewood Husband Housewives or whatever?
No, he was talking about some show apparently that lasted for like 6 episodes or something like that. Somebody bought it up and
Mm.
they no, I'd be on social media. It was on one of them platforms. They mentioned it.
And I'm gonna tell you what, Steve Harvey said the entertainer are not funnier than Mark Curry. Mark Curry was back in the day hilarious.
Hanging with
Hilarious. So
Mr. Cooper.
that was a good show, man. I even tell you
Yeah,
what, I didn't even watch Steve Harvey's show. It came
I
on
did, but
until it was
Hanging with
syndicated.
Mr. Cooper was way better to me.
Oh, most definitely. With that fake ass line, and boy, that's crazy because niggas was trying. Do you, hey, you don't so you don't know that clippers can bite you and cut and it hurts like because they got to be sharp to get that. I need one now, but that that perfect lining around the front,
Yeah.
them clippers can bite you and on your neck back here. They was
Oh.
out here trying to get that crispy before folks started doing the actual razor and stuff now because that came about and it take care of because that razor get you tight all day. You know what I'm saying? Shout
Mm.
out Sean Bennett down in Swaggers. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here in Huntsville, gonna get you tightened up. You know what I mean? It's been about 2 weeks for me, so it's time for me to go back. But yeah, I'm very pleased. I was very pleased with what he did, how he handled it, his composure. Everybody talking about he was drunk. He wasn't drunk till about them last 20 minutes. Now them last 20 minutes, he started knocking shit over, and so yeah, he was a little. He was because, but I want to try that. That's Shannon Sharp's cognac that they was
Oh yeah.
drinking. Did you know that?
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
gonna
I
get
told
that.
you I'd be watching Nightcap.
I don't know what that is.
The one with Ocho Cinco. He has Club Shay Shay
I
that he
guess.
does yeah, he has Club Shay Shay that he does the interviews with, and then he has Nightcap on I think Tuesday nights or something like that. Tuesday or Wednesday, it's Gilbert, and then the other time it's Ocho. I don't like Gilbert.
Yeah, too. Gilbert.
Some Gilbert Arenas or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that see now that's what I thought it was Gilbert and somebody else that had that show, but I
It's
don't remember
it's
seeing like
it's
I've
it's
only seen
Shannon.
clips.
Yeah, it's Nightcap, and it's Shannon Sharp is on all the episodes. But like I said, one
Mm.
night it's Gilbert, and the rest of the nights it's Ocho.
He has no credibility anymore, so I don't know why they're talking. Arenas,
But they're talking
he
about
was
like
a
sports,
great
and they're talking
player.
about sports and everything else. So that's
Yeah, oh
you got
yeah.
the
So
football
that's
player and
that's
you got the basketball player, and you go ahead and discuss things.
the basketball player that basically because he brought a gun into the locker room. Like that's something. Let's just go anyway. Like he has no sense whatsoever.
So, any
No
other
sense
thoughts on Cat
whatsoever.
Williams before we jump into our next story?
Nope. That I think I wish I could go see him here in Huntsville, but I definitely am busy that day. But I
He's gonna
think
be in
he gonna sell
Birmingham. He's
out.
also gonna be in Nashville too. He's gonna be in
You gonna check him
Birmingham
out?
and Nashville.
You gonna
I
check?
might, I might.
Let's see. Let's see, because that's definitely. I really don't care to be part of his special, because this is where he's filming, the special at these in these cities. But I can watch it on TV.
So
I
the
like that
next
movie.
story we're gonna talk about then is the guy that decided that he wanted to jump on the judge. Now,
My man,
how you gonna do
he was
that?
thinking, but baby, he took man. I'm telling you, these judges. Look. We do not condone violence here on the
No,
ops. But
we
I'm gonna
do
tell you
not.
what. I don't know what that man going through, and none of us do. None of us know what was his reasoning for violating thing that she gave him, because apparently people chose to educate me that prior to this she had given him other chances, but the way she handled the situation when sentencing him is what caused him to snap. Now, as a grown man, you should be able to control your emotions and not ruin the rest of your life by doing what you did. But we don't know what he was going like. This could have been his last straw at his job with his kids. His baby mama said, "You go to jail one more time, you ain't gonna see your kids." We don't know what was going on in his head. You know what I'm saying?
But like that wasn't gonna help. You can't go fight the judge and then
At
be like,
all.
I ain't want no, I didn't want five, I didn't want a couple of months in jail or prison and things like this. Let me go fight the judge and get more. Come on.
And
Well,
apparently, that's
not
all
fight
he
the
was going
judge,
away for. Like
not fight the judge because that wasn't a fight. Let me just go knock her
that was
out, and yeah, that
that
was not a
was an
fight.
ass whooping. He got her, boy. She couldn't even get her fast. She like, got him. This
He
man, I'm telling you,
he
if you don't
jumped.
appreciate if you don't appreciate nothing, this man got up. That bench had to be at least almost 6 feet high. Now, the average NBA player jumps about 4 feet when they dunk, right?
I don't know
He
the
cleared that.
statistics.
I'm just saying,
Okay, thank you.
take my
Okay,
word on that one.
okay.
But he cleared an almost 6 foot bench. Like, my man was out there, like, his feet didn't touch it. He was tall. His feet didn't touch it. He cleared that thing and got her around her neck. And he was really beating her, which is, I mean, that's bad for him. I don't know what he got after that, but he was only up for like 48 months
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But
for whatever.
now you got the other charges. Like to me, that's the weirdest
I'm
thing
not.
ever. And like, okay, so and initially, cause okay, so I also saw the updated video where they made him. They came in and they had all the, you know, sheriff. I'm assuming sheriff deputies and all this stuff surrounding him, and it looks like they. I don't
Four
know
of
what it
them.
was, but it looks like it had boxing gloves. That like they. I don't
Yeah, that's what
know,
I was gonna say.
like it's like
They had
some
upper
kind of
mitts.
gloves. Oh, okay, okay. They had some kind of
They had
gloves or
some of
something
them.
like to so when he was able to get sentenced. Because at first I was like, oh, she may have to recuse herself because obviously, but that's what I was thinking. But then I realized that she was just continuing the sentence, and she said that she the sentence that she has was the sentence that she was giving him anyway. So she didn't add
Mhm.
anything, and that's respectable in her thing because I'm saying if you knock me
Respectable.
out, that's respectable. Because if you knock me out, I'm probably like, you can get 10 years, 10 for each. I'm just saying, I may be petty. I don't know.
That's unethical.
I know it went now. Yes, in a sense, that's why you recuse
Cruise
yourself.
issues. I can't believe she didn't. That should have been mandatory.
But yeah, but the issue was that was the original case. She was already in the middle of sentencing initially anyway, so that's the reason why. Now,
Hmm.
of course, she's not going to be able to when they file charges and do everything for what he did to her, assault and battery and all whatever charges they're working with him
He won't. She
on.
won't. She won't
Yeah, she won.
her for that.
Yeah, correct. She won because she couldn't at that time anyway, and not to mention, I think unless he's doing a plea deal, she's gonna be a witness because she the one that got hit.
I think she about the best witness they got. Don't you think?
Like, And I'm just
Yeah,
like, that's
he
why. But
gonna come
like,
back.
this is what I never understood because I watched lot of Lifetime movies, and I never understood the fact that like people would cheat on their spouse or cheat on a test and then go murder somebody, and then I'm like, you should have just took the punishment for cheating. Now you done murdered somebody, and they still found out you cheated. So you in a worse
Man,
position. Like it doesn't have to go to that extreme. Like if you concerned about having time, like you definitely getting time by knocking the judge out. Or are
I mean,
you?
and then that's the thing though, because yeah, this they had to delay it a few days, because because she mental sentence and then she didn't get to finish her sentence. So
Mm.
literally, like she literally didn't get to finish her. So yeah, that was pretty wild, and I hate that he did that and let his emotions get the best of him. But when I saw her smirk, like, because the original story that I found out was that she had the option to give him probation or sentence him, and then she just was like, you know, this and the other, and that motherfucker said, "You bitch." That's all I heard, and just he leapt over that son of a bitch and just was like, "Man, look, I ain't." Mm-mm. But yeah, we don't know what that man was. They put him in the Hannibal Lecter crazy mask, man. So they set a narrative already. Like we all saw it. We all saw what he did. People lose their emotions all the time,
I
but
think his sister said that he has
newsflash,
mental health
yeah,
issues.
I believe that. But see, that's the thing. People that have mental illnesses, like whatever he may have, how do they know that? Like what? I don't know what I'm trying to
How do they
say,
know what?
but they what they know that they do they not know the consequences of that they're gonna face, like doing something like that. I don't care how mental I am. I don't think I would be like, dang, I think I should just jump over this thing and take this woman right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I have a cousin that's currently in the mental health institute. Um,
mm-hmm.
in one because of the crimes that he committed, but he got a whole check. So they knew for sure that he had a history of mental illness. Um, so these people are aware, but they're not, from my understanding, because you know how like people plead insane and stuff like that.
One selling short of a
It's
piece of
not that
majestic.
you don't necessarily know your consequences. It's just that you kind of couldn't help it. You couldn't help it. You
You
see what
kind
I'm
of don't.
saying?
It doesn't matter. Like that part of you that thinks the reasoning in your brain is overridden by your illness. I guess, right?
Yeah. So it's like,
Okay.
yeah, you may know. I My mama probably watching this. It was in the news. It don't. I tell it. So my
I'm sorry.
cousin decided that he wanted to go into the Social Security office. I think the one in Decatur at the
Hmm.
time. I don't even know if they still have it. And he said that they let I believe, white man get in front of him. And for whatever reason, I don't understand, but apparently he had a butcher knife with him. And he went to his car and he stabbed the people. Now they were hurt that they are alive. They may even still be alive because this happened a long time ago. A very long
Mm.
time ago, probably over 20 years. It had to be over 20 years. I was in
Did he stare at the
I was
white
in
man?
college. I was in college and I graduated from college this year will be 21 years. So, yeah. So, it was
Oof.
probably, yeah. So, it should be over 20 years ago that he did, did this, but because he's obviously getting a check, you can't just send him to jail like that because clearly he has issues and he's been in
Did
and
he
out
stab
of
the white
mental
man that
health.
got in front of him?
No, just the workers.
Oh well, yeah, that's okay. So, because that's that. I mean, what I'm saying is, if he had stabbed the white man, you could justify that that's premeditated. He did that on purpose. Blah blah blah. Be damned your illness. But if he just stabbed the random worker that didn't have no you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm just saying like it'd be like if you did something to me and I went and stabbed your neighbor, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they ain't have nothing to do with it. So that is kind of proving the point that he, you know, not been well. Can I? I'm trying to be sensitive because it's your cousin. You know, if it was
Oh
somebody random,
no,
I wouldn't
no,
care.
like I don't get me wrong. I have been around him, you know, all my life until up until that
Hmm.
point. Um,
I'm so, stop. Shut up. Okay.
I'm just saying up until that point.
Mm.
So yeah, he, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, but he has a documented history of
Yeah.
mental health and mental illness, so you can't really
Yeah.
argue with
That's
that
true.
when a person has, you know, those conditions. Which, like I said, that's apparently what the sister was saying about this guy is that he has, you know, history or whatever. But this is my thing: if he has a history of it, depending on what he did, because I don't know what he initially did. Um,
Battery.
no,
Battery. 7 counts of battery. Yeah. Hmm.
you mean for the judge or like prior to, like what was he getting
Prior
sentenced
to
for? Oh,
battery.
okay. Whoa.
So he. I mean, it's not a good look. I
So
mean,
he
it's
like
definitely.
fighting. So he like fighting.
I mean. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
Because I'm questioning. I'm in my mind. I'm like, if he, I don't know why they, if he did have a history, why wasn't, you know, he pleaded
but
insane and, you know, trying to.
um,
That's my thought
but the thing about
process.
it is that if people are messing with you and you got these problems, you know what I'm saying? Like if people are messing with you and you got these problems, they don't know. They just making fun of you because people like to roast people nowadays, thinking ain't nobody gonna do nothing. You could do that 20 years ago, be these consequences, but now you can't really roast people the way you want to. Like he might have been doing something stupid out out in public, and you
Yeah.
was like, oh, this, and then he just went off in your jaw because why you talking about me? You know what I'm saying? That's battery. So I mean, I don't know if he's out here attacking women because the way everybody is talking on the comments is like, oh, he was so quick to jump out there. Sure, I'm sure he's beat women down before. Like, yeah, I know that
Oh.
man. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
that's what that's
I
just
didn't even
something
know
that
his
people need.
charges. I guess I should have researched it more, but I didn't even know his charges. So. Hmm.
I was all caught up in that because I was going on on Instagram and stuff. I getting into it with people like, shoot. I mean, all I know is these judges need to take some sensitivity training. Sitting literally on high, looking down on people, judging them.
That's their
You need to
job.
be held accountable, right? But you need to be held accountable for your facial expressions and your actions and stuff. You need to be sensitive to that. I'm
No, like
sorry.
you can't.
I
You no, as a person that face tells the whole story. I be trying. You have to literally think about other thoughts in your head in order to not make certain facial expressions. And as a person who face tells the whole story, if you tell me something, don't look at me. That's gonna be your best option to not look at me because once you look at me, my face gonna start talking and I ain't got no control over it. The only like you
and
have
that's
to
what she
literally
did.
think about it. You have to literally think about it. But you don't know what literally the thing about it is also you don't know what she was potentially snickering at because sometimes when people are having a whole conversation, just like doing a podcast, sometimes people are texting me or whatever, or I'm looking at a comment or something like that and I'm not necessarily doing it to what you're saying, but my face expression may go somewhere else. So no, because you never really know. Because I'm telling you, most of the time, my mind be on something else anyway. Like in general, not on the podcast, but I'm just saying like in general. So I'm not necessarily like if somebody's saying something because I'm paying attention to everything, especially on these Zoom calls. Like when you're in a regular meeting, you know you ain't gonna really see it. You see the back of people unless you turn to the side. You might see some people out of the corner of your eye. But on the Zoom, you looking at everybody's facial expression. If somebody cock their eyes or do something, I'm gonna laugh.
I feel you, but I looked in her face. I watched it 83 times, close to that. So I'm looking at her face. She put her glass. I thought she took her glasses off. She put her glasses on. She said, I can't do that anymore. I can't do
But
he's
sometimes
that's
that's in
he
frustration.
yeah, and I agree. But in those positions, especially if you
They're
know you're
human.
dealing
They're
with
still
somebody,
human.
you're right,
They're
and you're
still
right. And
human.
sometimes humans get their ass jumped on too. But anyway, and he gonna have consequences. I ain't saying he your hands off people. Definitely, you got to learn to control yourself. He could have just cussed her out. Like there was nobody around him. All he had was the public defender that he had stand beside him. He could have cussed her all the way out right now. All she could do was bang her gavel. Order, order,
Yeah,
order. That's all he could have
he would
done.
have had better options of being held in contempt of court than now assault, additional assault, and then it's on a federal. Well, I don't know if
Judge,
she's a federal judge or not, but she was a judge.
no. She,
So,
either way,
but I'm just
a
saying it.
judge.
Yeah. So yeah,
You're not gonna come out of that too. But I feel him. I don't recall his name because I didn't want to
I don't know his name
free
either.
my
I look it
man.
up because I
I and they really didn't tell it. They weren't trying to give his name or her name. But I feel him on her name because I'm pretty sure she's gonna get like there was no friends that she had on the post that I was on in Instagram. There was people that saying that he was wrong. He shouldn't have done this. Then I get it, but there was nobody that was like, "Oh, I feel so bad for her," except Judge Judith with her old wrinkled ass.
well, I feel
She was
I'm
saying,
saying right now I feel bad for her, but apparently his his name is Deborah.
Yeah, Deborah,
Oh,
Dio
Deborah.
Bora,
Okay, okay, okay.
Dio is Dio Bora or something like that. That's what show is because I was
Yeah,
like, I thought that was the judge name. I was like, Deborah, why they give her name? Then I had to read. You absolutely right.
yeah. The judge
It is
was.
her
Oh,
name.
let me not even pronounce that name. We're just gonna call her Judge Mary Kay. I think it's
Up,
Haltus. I don't know.
ass kicked. Okay, but I wouldn't have. I'm gonna tell you what. I wouldn't have went back in there with him if he hadn't been the way he was. If I was her, like that was definitely hers. She probably had somebody standing beside her too, just in case he got away from them.
Yeah, they had a lot of a lot of security or whatever. But yeah, that's that. Any other thoughts about that?
Nah, we good on that. I just know that Mr. Diobra, bruh, we know. If you got an
Okay.
address, I'll pen pal you. Gonna be gone for a little while, sir.
Okay. So we're about to go to our last segment for the night, and that is what has a TV show, movie, or book taught you. And you promised that since we mentioned books that you're going to discuss a book tonight. So what has a book taught you? Unless you change your
No,
mind and it can be a TV show.
that was that was. I was gonna say that was last week. I said I was gonna do a book, and I did.
But I
My
didn't.
last time, not last week.
Okay.
The last time I did Think and Grow Rich. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. You
so
did.
so this week I do have a TV show because the book I've been reading lately have been the same ones that I've been going back and forth into them over and over again. So because the information doesn't retain as well on y'all that, so I have to go through it several times. But I'm doing a Shy this week. Now I'm an avid fan of the show, more so in the beginning than now. But I just recently caught up on the last season, season 6 of The Shy, and this season they addressed a lot of issues, right? And the one that in particular that has stuck out to me is the fact that they have a male group therapy session going on,
Okay.
and it impressed me because it allows, like, literally it's a safe space for men, like
Okay.
men, you know, my brothers here, I don't fool with y'all like that, but I love my brothers. So, what I'm gonna say here is, there's not enough places for them to be themselves. We're finding out now that black men have deep rooted trauma,
Wait, who
and
is we just not finding out? Why you say that? Just curious.
I mean, not just like yesterday. I'm talking about like in the
Uh,
most recent years. We're finding out that black men, and I mean, it's coming out. It's just coming out. Like we
or
knew it,
being
but
more
we didn't.
discussed.
It didn't.
Okay.
Right.
It's been
Okay.
talking more
Yeah.
and
So
more. Okay, 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 okay.
it's coming out that there's some things that men have built up inside themselves that they can and can't do, for most often is appearing weak or homosexual or anything like that. So there's a lot of things that they have to look at and grade themselves on, and check themselves first to see if they're doing anything wrong, quote unquote wrong. And that I can imagine the pressure that causes. Um, in the one of the episodes in this last season here on the Shy, the man was like, we got one character. You watch the show?
No.
Okay. Well, if you watch the show, you know that there's a character. Man, I don't even know what his name is, but he just recently got out of prison for
Okay.
about 10 years, and he he met a woman who is pretty well off. She's not hurting for nothing. You feel me? She's like,
Okay.
I don't think she's like balling out of control or anything like that. But she's not hurting for nothing. She can do what she want, live how she want. And she really is fond of him. Like she really does like him. She
Okay.
really likes him. But he himself is ruining the relationship because he's unhappy with his financial situation. The fact that she asked him to move in with her, and then she's always referring to it as her house, or stuff like that. Like that
Okay.
stuff like that bothers him, which I get that, but it is ours. But I mean, she's been living here by herself for a long time, and again, it is
So he
her
moved into
house,
her house.
right?
Okay.
And so
Okay.
he doesn't want, for whatever reason, he doesn't want to work menial jobs, which I get it because it's hard to come up when you, like, before you went in, you making $17,000 a week or every other day, out here doing what got him put in prison, and you go to 750, 850 dollars an hour. You know what I'm saying? That it doesn't add up. But I mean, people got to understand you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Especially if such as that, because for whatever reason, even though reform is the goal of prison, it's not considered that, and you're fighting your way back to citizenhood basically when you come out of jail. Like you have to declare yourself again that you belong here in this world. Actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's got some issues with that. He's trying to deal with that. Now he's went as far to cheat on this one. Like he's uncomfortable for whatever reason with himself, and he's hurting people. So you got to understand, like, it's okay to express your concerns with this. Like he's telling his homeboy, he's like, man, he said, I don't even feel like a man, like I can't even take care of my woman. I feel like I can't protect her, stuff like that. Like men are dealing with that, and they don't get much help or understanding sometimes from the women that they are trying to be with. So they're out here, they're sleeping with multiple people because they don't have to have any feelings. They don't have to do this. They don't have to do that. So there's a lot of things out here that are concerning our black brothers, and they need that shoulder. But now, women, black women, are, I won't say giving them shit because but they are. Like you can't do this for me. You can't do this to this. You can't do that. You ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the translation what they're getting. And that's hard to deal with because the one person that's supposed to love you in this world is your black woman, right? If you're a black man. That's the way the story goes. But
I would say
it's
your woman or whoever you date. Yes. Yeah.
whatever. But what I'm saying is that the fact that they have this group that they can go to and express themselves and let that out, because that's all you need
Yeah.
is somebody to hear you.
And make you
Not
feel like you're not alone.
right, like you're
Yeah.
not alone and that you're going through this together, like, and then encourage you, like they were encouraging each other, which is
No.
what I think that we all should do,
Of
because
course.
if somebody is able to be vulnerable with you and tell you what they're going through, you need to be able to say, hey, people go through that. It's gonna be okay,
Yeah.
because they can't see. Sometimes you can't see the bright side.
Yeah.
There's always a bright side. I always see it, and I feel like that these brothers have that outlet, and this show put it out there that they need groups like this,
Yeah.
you know, because they tried to get one of the guys to see a for himself, just for himself. And he was like, "No, I got the group. I'm gonna go to the group and air it out with the group because I feel like that's better than somebody that's getting paid to listen to me tell because you
Mm.
never know if a therapist is really concerned with what you got going on or they're just doing what they do for their pay. I mean, that's just real talk. It ethically they should be concerned about
Yeah, they definitely should be
black
concerned
women, but
about
that doesn't mean
you.
that they are. Like real talk. And then you got somebody, a group of your peers that can, relate. But it's hard. I guarantee you it's hard for men to tell each other their problems than for women.
No,
Like,
I think me. I don't know if it would be hard for a man to tell other men because they know that that's probably a safe space, and a lot of them may be going through the same thing. I think it would be the same as women
I don't agree with that
because
at
both.
all.
But I feel like both sexes, especially as it relates to black people, I feel like both sexes feel like they have to be strong, and
No,
so
I don't,
for
from what I've
either
heard,
group.
because it's easy for my male friends to talk to me because I'm not, the woman that they're seeking to be with.
Yeah,
It's not so, but I, consider to as if they were a male friend. You know what I'm saying? They want my
yeah,
perspective for whatever reason on what do I know about what you should do in a dating situation? Like I don't date y'all, but it's like I don't. I offer my best help I can, but I feel like men don't talk like they'll be like, "Oh man, this it's nothing." They be like, "What's wrong?" They might say, "What's wrong?" Like, "Oh man, nothing, man. Just give me a beer, or whatever. Or let's play this game or whatever." You know what I'm saying? But me, when I talk to my, like, I would tell my male friends stuff that's going on in my life with relationships and stuff like that, and how I feel because
yeah,
that's just not what I do. I tell my homegirls. I tell you, I tell Jazz, you know what I'm saying? I be like, hey, look, girl, I'm falling apart over here. Like, I feel like I'm
yeah,
going nuts. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it just gave me a really big heart smile when I saw these men were expressing way. And I do hope because there's a lot of men that watch The Shy. Like The Shy is a pretty good show, and there's a lot of men that would watch it and say, oh, you know what? Maybe I can talk to my homeboy. And homeboys, when they come and talk to you, look, I'm looking at you directly in the face now. Don't give them no shit. Please be there for your home. Like, it, and if you don't have any real friends like that, get you some, or let go of the
yeah,
ones that you don't got like that. Because for real, we out here, we all hurting out here. I don't care how successful you are. I really don't. How much money you have in your pocket, how much fame you have, you have those times that you hurt and you need someone. And it's okay to reach out to the people that are in your life that love you and be vulnerable. And I'm talking to
yeah,
myself on that because until they get real bad for me, I don't vulnerable.
yeah.
I've let myself be vulnerable to women in my life before, and I get shit from it. We won't mention the ex-wife, but yeah, that one. You know what I'm saying? And then it was another one recently that I was trying to be vulnerable in in a situation because I was going through something, and I
Okay.
tried to let her know that I second guess myself sometimes. Like I feel like since I turned 40 and got married on a whim, I don't make the best decisions. So sometimes I second guess my choices, and I was being open with her, and I believe that turned her away from me because I guess I'm a weak ass. You know what I'm saying? So I was
No, don't
like,
make
oh,
you
bet.
weak. That makes you strong.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I felt. And I was like, oh wow, maybe that's just the person I didn't need in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it just made me feel some type of way. And going forward, I don't know if I'll be able to be vulnerable like that with someone, which again has pushed somebody else away from me. You know what I'm saying? Since then, so I just don't know. You don't know, and you're trying to make all these choices. But I'm here to say it's okay to be vulnerable with the people that actually love you. Those that don't, you'll see that immediately, and you deuce throw the deuce sign to them. But yeah, that's it. Y'all check out The Shot. It's a really good show. It's
Okay.
on Showtime, I believe,
Yeah,
or
it's
Stars,
showtime.
something
It's
like that.
showtime. It's
Showtime.
showtime.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the episode 41 in the books. This is your girl Spicy K,
And this your girl TK.
and with the ops, we're telling it all. and we're out of here.
See you next week.